very creative. They are driven with spirit to make change. They are agents of change. And in 1998, when we realized that we cannot walk at 2 o'clock in the streets, and when we realized our rivers are full of plastic and garbage, and when we realized that the government and the authorities are not utilizing indigenous knowledge in creating sustainable change, we as young people of Arusha came together and formed Aung Serian. And Aung Serian is a Maasai word which means a dwelling of peace. And the reason we called it Aung Serian is because young people, not only in Tanzania, who are coming from different religions, ethnic and political affiliations, came together and said, you know, we can be together to change this world, to make this a better place. We need to come with a new paradigm of change. Things are not changing the way they are going right now. There is a need for a new thinking. There is a need for a new direction. And Aung Serian is one very tiny example of what young people are doing all over the world. I've always been critical of the United Nations, and I've always shunned formal organizations, because the United Nations have been since the 20s, but nothing, I can't see something concretely in my town that the United Nations have done. But now as I grow up and as I mature, I realize if there are no concrete things that the United Nations have done, but what it has done is really bring people together. I've made tremendous networks. I've learned very much by sitting with people and hearing their stories, hearing their achievements through these sort of forums that have been initiated by the United Nations. So I'm looking at the United Nations and this summit in a very different light, that this summit will not go and build a recording studio in my town. This summit is not going to build a school in my town. This summit is not going to put a bread on my table. But what this summit has done is given me ideas. And I think ideas are the most precious things one can have. There is no cash that can really pay for ideas. And what I've got in here is beautiful ideas that will flower into success. Many of us cannot tap into the discussion at a governmental level, at the institutional level, but I think when we young people meet each other, we understand each other very much. Sometimes I feel like some of the people I speak to are really talking about my own story. So for me, this is very positive. Young people of the world are very hopeless. You know, over the years, nothing have changed. But when you come and meet some people who are so hopeful, who are doing things that are so positive, you know, I think there is regeneration of hope, and there is a sense of, you know, that tomorrow the sun will rise and there will be good things. So yes, we don't fully identify with the ideas and the speeches that have been made, but I think at the human level, at the youth level, we are very much in sync. I think what is beautiful about Baobab Connection is that it works with the already existing institutions. Most of the time when the North initiates development programs or projects in Africa, it's usually, hey, we have the solution, you do this. But then with Baobab Connection, we are partners, you know, we are taking some of our experiences, giving it to Baobab Connection, and Baobab is taking some of its experiences and giving to us. So we are in an equal footing. For example, when we talked about intellectual property rights, we were already, as Aung Serian is this organization that I co-founded in 1998. We were already dealing with intellectual property rights. So Baobab Connection added to already these concerns that we had and kind of broadened our vision, and you know, to look at these issues in more complicated way, in more global way, but at the same time empower our understanding of intellectual property rights and its problem in Tanzania in more broader ways. So we learned about other experiences from other countries, but then also by reading articles online, we saw that some some of our brothers in Africa are also being challenged with the same issues.